Activision Blizzard reported strong earnings with the continued success of its most popular franchise, Call of Duty, and new game, Skylanders. The company also announced Call of Duty will be expanding to other platforms. I spoke with Activision CEO Bobby Kotick today and asked him what's next for the franchise and the company.
We have a dedicated, enthusiastic group of probably over 30 million players today, and so we just want to continue to be able to deliver great value and really great entertainment for that group of players and expand the audience of people who get to enjoy Call of Duty.
Now, aside from Call of Duty, all of the excitement is about Skylanders. You've said this can be the next billion-dollar opportunity. How quickly can it get to that?
Well, I didn't say that, but I think it was meant to be more of a statement about how enthusiastically well received it is, not specific to a dollar amount. But it's off to a great start. It's one of the most successful new franchises, certainly the most successful new franchise we've ever created in such a short period of time. We've sold over 20 million toys. That helped contribute to another year of record earnings per share and record operating margins. And we're very excited about the Skylanders prospects for the future.
So what's the appeal? Why do you think this particular franchise is so successful?
You know, I think it really is one of those things, much like DreamWorks or Pixar, where we've created this incredibly compelling universe of characters, and then the magic of seeing these characters come to life on the screen. I mean, that was really the essence of Skylanders, is being able to bring your toys to life. And the other thing that we're finding is that because you're able to capture your game progress in the toy itself, it's become somewhat of a currency for kids. So they're leveling their characters up, and then they're trading them with their friends, or they're selling them on eBay, and it's actually become this great storehouse of value for 6 to 11-year-olds.
Now, let's move on to World of Warcraft, which lost a lot of subscribers in the third quarter, but that significantly slowed down in the last quarter. What have you guys been doing to slow down defections? Why do you think you've been able to stem those losses?
Well, World of Warcraft has an incredibly enthusiastic audience. We introduced new content late last year, and that was something that I think was really important in keeping the player base enthusiastic. Look, they had a lot of choices last year. There were a lot of great games. Many of them came from us, but they had a lot of choices, and I think what we've seen is people have tried a lot of the different products that have been out there, and then they've started to come back to World of Warcraft. And I think that is an audience of people who, as long as we continue to provide them with inspired, creative, new content, I think you'll see a lot of stability in that audience for a long time to come.
How much is World of Warcraft and the Call of Duty subscription service boosting digital?
You know, I think for us, we've always been a more digitally focused company. We're the leading online entertainment company in the world, and so, over 60% of our operating profits come from our direct relationships with our consumers that are all digital.
Now, talking about your competition, as Electronic Arts Star Wars moves out of the free-to-play phase, how do you see that impacting you guys?
Well, Star Wars has been an MMO before. There was one some years ago, and I think it peaked at about 1.5 million players. It's such a fantastic intellectual property. The guys seem to have done a very good job on the game, and I think it has a very loyal and devoted following. I don't really see that that's had much of an impact on the World of Warcraft audience, and I think they can happily coexist.
Now, you haven't followed in your rivals' footsteps in terms of building games specifically for social platforms like Facebook. We've been talking a lot about Facebook with the impending IPO. Are you continuing to think that this is the best strategy for Activision?
You know, what our strategy has been for 20 years is, we evaluate platforms on their merits. If we think there's a way for us to be creative and well-differentiated and deliver inspired content, then it's a platform that we're willing to support. And we've had investments underway on Facebook as a platform, and we think Facebook is a fantastic platform. We're generally not going to be the first people on a platform, but we usually are the best. And I think that's the strategy that we're going to employ with Facebook.
Talking about new games that are in the works, you guys are working on a Battleship game based on the Battleship movie that's coming out. How is making this kind of a game different than the other games you made where the players are fighting aliens rather than fighting each other?
Well, you know, Battleship as an intellectual property is a great intellectual property. The movie I think is going to be a fantastic movie. It's a great director, and every once in a while we find these opportunities where there's a way for us to leverage the technology that we have or the game-making capability with a property that makes a lot of sense. And I think that we're very well aligned with what the director's vision is. I can't obviously share too much of that because Universal wouldn't be happy, but we think it's a great opportunity for us.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye out for it. I have to ask you about Moneyball before you go. This little thing you do on the side called acting. You played the owner of the Oakland A's. Moneyball got 6 Oscar nominations. Are you going to be anxiously watching the awards coming up?
That group of people is such a talented, extraordinary group of people. They all deserve them. The only person who didn't get the Best Director nomination that certainly deserved it was Bennett Miller, who's a wonderful director. But I think that they're an incredibly talented group of people, and I really hope to see they all get recognized for their contributions to film.
For those of us who know Bobby as the CEO of Activision, it actually was a very impressive performance in Moneyball, in my humble opinion.